Hey darlings, today I'm going to talk with you about how to write if you don't have time. Brought to you by my kitchen and my floors that need a lot of work and dishes that need to be put away while I'm cooking because multitasking. So let's say you want to write. Let's say there is something inside of you that needs to come out in written form. But let's say maybe you have a job that pays your bills that you need to do. Many of us do not have the luxury to just sit down and start writing for a few hours a day and still afford food and all those other things. So, what do you do? Because I have another job that I do a lot that pays my stuff, and so I can't sit down currently and write a lot just for funsies. So what do we do about it? One of the ways to start is to be painfully honest with yourself and figure out how are you using your time. Because have you ever done this where you're like, ooh, look at all this time I have, that's pretty cool. And then at the end of it, you're like, what did I get done? I've done that. Like, there's days where I get up early and I don't have to work until a little bit later, and I have like 3 hours, and I'm like, the night before, wow, think of all the writing I can get done, or editing, or whatever that I need to do. And then those 3 hours are up, and I'm like, what did I accomplish? I did my yoga. That accounts for like 1/6 of that time. Did I do anything? No. So sometimes it's just being like, how the heck, what, did I do anything productive during that time that I had? Or like when I get home in the evening, I like to relax a little bit with my love. But if we get done early, we might just spend like the whole evening watching TV and just sitting there going, is probably, there's probably something else we could have been doing that would be more productive. And I do think that sometimes you need that time to go and just sit there and zone out and just like totally rest and recuperate. But you might not need a few hours of that. Just saying, depending on how you are, we all have different energy levels and drives and whatever. So, step 1, taking a look, being like, how do I actually use my time? So let's say you actually are super deliberate with your time and you actually have everything planned out really, really well. So what do you do then? Or what do you do even if you don't? I think then it comes down to figuring out what is important and what is stuff that has to be done. So a thing that's important to me is having my house clean-ish. Don't look at my kitchen, please. Clean-ish, because it used to be a disaster. It was a hoarding house. Not my fault. Clean-ish house. And so it's deciding how much time do I want to spend doing that? Because I don't really feel like outsourcing to a house cleaner, which is a thing you could do. But sometimes I have to decide. I'm like, do I really need to mop my floors again? Like, I don't know. I have 2 dogs and a love that tends to forget to take off his shoes. So it's not fun to spend however long mopping to only have it not clean a few hours later. So it's taking a look at that. Like, do I need to spend the time on this whatever thing? Do I need to spend 45 minutes playing Candy Crush while I listen to a YouTube interview? Maybe not. Maybe I don't need to do that. Just a thought. And then another step is to plan it out if you are not already planning it out. So there's a thing I saw on YouTube. I cannot remember whose video it was, but it was talking about schedule blocking. So looking through your day and blocking out time to do whatever. So being like, okay, I'm going to get up at this time. Okay, from here to here, I'm going to do my yoga. I'm going to take care of my dogs. I'm going to make this video, or I'm going to edit a thing, or I'm going to write out a few pages of whatever. Then I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to do this. Maybe during my break, I'm going to get whatever done. I'm going to contact my editor. I'm going to whatever thing you need to do. And then I'm going to work. And then when I get home, I'm going to maybe get a little bit more writing done or whatever. And then I'm going to have my 1 or 2 hours of, and then go to bed. Or whatever works for you. The thing is, it's like, everyone is so different. Everyone has different things that works for them. But my main tips are, one, you might have more time than you think you do, which is not a comfortable thing to think about, because we usually tend to think, oh my gosh, I'm so busy, I absolutely don't have time for anything. You might. And I'm not going to say you do, but you might. And then 2, just be really deliberate. Kind of plan it out if you can. Figure out what's going to work the best for you towards your goal. And maybe have that goal written down somewhere. Do you want to be a best-selling author? Do you want to have so many reviews? How much of a book do you want to write if you're in the writing stage? Like, having those goals and figuring out, being deliberate, and like, how am I going to make these goals happen? Looking at it step by step. And the last one is, like I said, figure out if you can cut out some stuff. Be like, oh, is this something I actually need to do? Is this going to be something that adds value to my life? Or if you have like toxic friends that you're hanging out with, like, maybe you go to the bars. Don't go to the bars a lot. It's COVID time. I don't know. Maybe you do something with some people that just aren't the best for you. Maybe whatever. I feel like there might be some things that you could cut out that would be actually a positive thing for you. Perhaps. I could be talking out my butt. I don't know. But those are my thoughts. That's how I've kind of carved out some more time for writing, because it is my passion. I love it. And I've known that I've loved it for a very long time, and it's only kind of until recently that I'm like, I'm gonna get this done. And so another thing is, be kind to yourself. I mean, not so kind that you do nothing. But if it takes you a while to get into the swing of things, that's okay. Building habits can be tricky. So before I ramble on too long, if you could come over and review my floors, sand them down, varnish them, please do that. Because someday I want to have videos of my floor and feel confident and not be like, oh, look at my floor that's ugly and old and needs to be redone. Because it's clean, just somewhat clean. I don't know why I'm worried about that, but I am. Please don't judge my floors. I can't help it. Anyway, thank you for listening, because that was very concise and helpful. So, have a good one, darling. Bye-bye.